Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about one of the seed varieties here at Northwoods that is quickly becoming one of my favorite. Now I really like our brassica blends, really love all our clover blends, our cereal grain blends. We talked about rye being one of the favorites, but this perennial, after observation in our backyard food plot last year and what I'm seeing this spring already, is quickly becoming one of my favorites and a must-have on all our food plots. Chicory. Now, we did a 3-strip system back behind our house. You all seen it in our previous videos. But one of the strips, instead of just clover blend, we did our clover blend plus chicory. And the amount of usage in October on this chicory, we went really heavy with chicory. It was probably 50% chicory. It was amazing to watch these deer. There'd be a dozen deer in the food plot, and you could see 8 to 10 of them were in that clover blend plus chicory most of the night. So what is chicory? It's a form very similar looking to a dandelion. Not the flower, but the leaves. Now when we go to mow, when our clover blend plus chicory or our seclusion blend is 75% flowered out with the clovers, we'll mow it. But that chicory is standing tall above the clover. I've seen it 10 to 12 inches already. So again, it looks like a dandelion leaf. You can't miss it in that sea of clover. Some of the things I like about chicory is it can grow in acidic soil. Now, I planted it as low as 5.3 pH, and it's grown and it's produced quite well. One of the very few plantings that will actually produce food, and a lot of it in a low pH soil. Now, as land managers, we all understand we need to get that pH as close to 7 as possible. So I'm not recommending just growing chicory in that low pH soil. I'm highly recommending you keep adding lime, whether it's pelletized or we use the liquid lime from Brad Harper Growing Solutions, the plot doctor, using that once a year to bring that pH up, and you'll have an even more successful food plot. The other thing that's amazing with chicory, and we saw it firsthand last year, is the ability to survive in a drought, drier soils. Now, you can't go out in a dust bowl and see this and expect it to grow because it does well in drier soils. But with the deep taproot it has, very similar to alfalfa, it can survive a drought. Now, we saw that last year. We did a video, I believe, early September last year. We were in a small kill plot, and all we had in that kill plot was chicory. It was clover chicory in our Seclusion 360. The clover went dormant in that drought we had. I think the rain shut off mid-July last year. We didn't see hardly any rain until mid to late September, early October. But that chicory stayed bright green, and the deer were utilizing it September and October, so that saved that kill plot. Now, obviously, we're not hunting around here around the yard, but had that been one of our kill plots, it would have survived, still been attractive to the deer because of the deep taproot with that chicory. One of the great aspects of chicory. Now, depending on your soil conditions, soil quality, and what reports you read, chicory has anywhere from 25 to 30% crude protein. Now, talking with biologists and deer nutritionists, 17% seems to be the number that people are talking about that the white-tailed deer needs for daily protein needs, 17%. This is a lot higher. Now, couple that with this deep taproot and the minerals that chicory plant can mine. This is a nutrition machine for whitetails, another great aspect about chicory. So the question we get asked a lot, how much do we plant it? How many pounds per acre? I've not done a standalone chicory planting yet, but you saw the video the other day of us up on one of our lease properties, rock, sand. We're not ready for brassicas up there, but we are going to do, in the 3-strip system, instead of brassica strip, we're going to do a small standalone chicory planting and see how they react to that compared to brassicas, because again, we're not ready for brassica up there, but I think the chicory is going to do just fine. So 6 pounds an acre is what we're going to broadcast it at. If we were drilling it, it would probably be around 4.5 pounds per acre. Now, if you do plant clover blends with chicory in it, you want to pay attention to this number. In a clover blend, I'd like to see at least, at bare minimum, 15, 18, 20%. Okay, Our Clover blend plus chicory here at Northwoods has 25% chicory. Our Seclusion 360 has 65% chicory, but it's got a clover in that Seclusion blend that's more tolerant of crappier soil, acidic soil. So if you're looking at a Clover blend plus chicory and they're at the 2, 4, 5, 6, 7% chicory, I just don't think you're going to get much out of that in years to come. There's potential, depending on what clovers are in there, of choking that chicory out. There just isn't a lot of chicory in there. And the purpose of planting a clover blend and chicory is to actually have some clover and a lot of chicory in that mix. I like 25%. That's what our Clover blend plus chicory is. You can actually see the chicory, not one here, one there, one there. There's a bunch of chicory. So that's our thought on that. If you're buying a Clover blend plus chicory, make sure you've got a good percentage of chicory, not just 2 or 3%. Another thing I really liked about this chicory that we use, again, I got to see it behind the house, is the cold tolerant. Now, a lot of perennials go dormant once the cold and the snow gets here, not this chicory. We had, I think, an opening morning of rifle season here in Michigan. We had 10 degrees. We had a big snow and ice storm. It was miserable for the end of November, early December. Then we had a warm up right before Christmas. And that clover and that chicory especially was still green and the deer were still on it. And it was amazing to see how the plot was bright green and it looked just like the brassica, and the deer were using the chicory every night. Very cold tolerant, the chicory that we use. And the last thing I want to talk about is when I was talking with this gentleman, he had said, John, you're not going to believe the October use with this chicory. Now, again, we're here in Michigan, and this time frame could shift as we go further south in the country. But I was amazed with the trail cameras he was sending me, the trail camera pictures I was getting on our chicory plots, Clover blend plus chicory or the Seclusion plots, and the usage. It's like all of a sudden you flipped a switch in October and they just started pounding it. And I saw the same thing back here. I saw for years using it the last couple of years on our personal plots. He wasn't kidding. The October usage was unbelievable with this chicory. And I don't know if there's any correlation, like you talk to, there's a lot of people that say brassica, you get the frost and the starch turns to sugar and anything like that. I'm not sure if there's anything like that, but I did notice a big uptake once we got to October. We got some cool weather, frosty nights. That chicory use was unbelievable. So that's one thing I really liked about that. And again, like I said, the further down the country you go, that date could change. So this is something that I think every one of the properties we're working on this year, I think it's up to 4 this year, we will have chicory on it. I'm not going to make that statement that, gosh, there's going to be deer for miles coming to your food plot. That's just simple. It's just nonsense, that kind of a statement. But I will say this, if you have chicory in your food plot program, you're going to see a lot of use out of it if you do it right. So I hope this helps, folks. I really like chicory. Think about it. Does it fit in your food plot program? Does it work for you? It works great for us. We've got the Seclusion 360 blend, which is 65% chicory. We've got the Clover blend plus chicory, which is 25% chicory. And I think around April 20th, we're going to have just a plain 2-pound bag of straight chicory, no clover, on our website, northwoodswhitetails.com. Thanks for watching, folks. Thanks for helping our channel grow. We'll see you in a few days.